Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Thank y'all for tuning in to another DnL&x Fitness live stream show. What is going on? What is going on? Yes. Today we got a stream going today. A little bit later than usual, but that's okay. We still gonna make it happen. Yeah, we still gonna make it happen, either later or whatnot, but we're gonna make this stream happen today, although I got stuff to do. How's everybody doing today, man? Thank y'all for tuning in today. Just to let y'all know, we're simultaneously streaming on 4 different platforms: Kick, Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. If you are on YouTube, do me a favor and hit that like button when you see it right there on the screen. So I greatly appreciate it if you did that there. Gonna be in a little bit of a press for time today, but we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it happen. We got to go over our fitness topics, our 3 topics for today, and it's gonna be in our, I guess, our main genres or whatever topics. It's going to be fitness, the economy, and AI. But before we get to the show, if you want to contribute to today's show, right there's a Cash App at Daniel2888 and Venmo, Danny-Daniel-00. Yes, sir. Today is Wednesday, actually. It's hump day. Yeah, hump day. So make sure you get over that hump for sure, because it's going to be a hump day. And if you're having a bad day, let Mr. Child tell you how it is.
You're having a bad day? Did you die? Shot. But did you die?
That's the main thing. Did you or did you not? And if you didn't, then you're good. Then you're still here to make something happen. So with that being said, make something happen, make the best of it, grind, get your money, do what you got to do while you're out there. Hopefully you hit the gym today, got your workout in, got something in. If you didn't, you can at least log on to my YouTube channel, to the video tab, and get you some workouts as well. But with that being said, with our 4 topics that we have today, we're going to look at what somebody on the fitness part, we're going to look at what somebody eats throughout the day in order to stay below 10% body fat. So we're going to go into, I think his name is Mike Thurston. I think that's how you say his name. He's basically going to go over his, what he does in a day to stay below 10% body fat, including his workout and his diet. So we're going to go check out that into the fitness part. Then as we dive over to the economy portion of the show, there's been a new bill proposal. Now it's a proposal. All because it's a proposal doesn't mean it's a bill signed into law. But this new proposal of a bill may actually ban pornography from the United States. Yeah, the United States, there just might be a pron ban on the United States, making it illegal. that's going to be interesting. I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to read into it later on today. So we're going to check out and see what that's about. And then for the AI portion of the show, we got Sam Altman, who's going to kind of give a short little rundown of how AI is going to be moving from 2025 to 2027. So that's going to be a good one to see. So just be sure and be ready for that right there when it comes up, because yeah, it's going to move. It's going to move rapidly fast, for real. It's going to move really, really, really fast. So just be ready for that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and run into our show, because we got stuff we got to do. We got stuff we got to take care of. And unfortunately, I got off to a slightly late start today, but that is A-okay. We are going to make this thing happen. We're going to make it work. It's mandatory. What else is there to do? What else are you going to do at life? You know what I mean? You might as well just make it happen. Yes. All right, so cool. So let's go ahead and move on to the first portion of the show. Let me make sure that they don't hit me with a let me restart this real quick. That's what I should do. I should restart it. So therefore, when we get jumping into the video, they don't come in and hit me. Oh, they don't come in and hit me with anything like an ad in the middle of the video. So here we go. What we got going on here? Come on, pull it up. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get this video on the screen and let's take a look at it. I got something in my eye. I do. Oh man, a little white thing in my eye. That's crazy. Okay, anyway, moving on to the video. Let me pull this up. Let me change the banner. AI Rising. Bam, there we go. So let's go ahead and hop into this. His name was Mike Thurston. I was correct, Mike Thurston. So let's check out what he eats. Everything he eats in a day to stay below 10% body fat. Jesus, I can't talk. Fair use. Here we go. Oh.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the 4-week shred series where I'm documenting myself getting shredded.
Now,
over surprise.
Before we go any further, just to tell you right now, my boy is probably not natty. I'm gonna say he's probably not natty. He's on some kind of roid, because they usually all are. But yeah, let's just get that out in the open.
Surprise, a 4-week period. So in this video, I'm gonna take you into a little bit more detail with what it is that I'm eating on a day-to-day basis to actually lose body fat, particularly when it comes to the end of this little mini cut where I am restricting my calories a little bit. I think today we're probably going to be going towards the Maserati. Nice. We're going towards the 2,300 and 2,400 calorie mark, so things are getting a little bit tough, but I'll show you exactly what it is that I'm eating, keeping the protein high, lowering the carbs and the fats. Starting the day off with an...
Now, what he said is keeping the protein high and the carbs and the fats lower.
Omelet, absolutely.
Because that's usually going to help, because your carbs are for your energy source, which you're going to use to burn off the fuel in your workout. Then your protein is going to be your muscle growth, what helps repair your muscles and stuff like that. So you want to be able to repair your muscles after a workout. And protein is more for your muscles. Carb is just for energy.
Absolutely needs to be done. We got a little bit of chicken on the side for extra protein. Got some healthy fats inside of the omelet. There is 2 slices of bread. I'm only going to allow myself to have 1, just because I need a slice of bread in my life. And then here we have a low-calorie green juice with celery, cucumber, I think a little bit of apple in, mint, lime, all green goodness.
Now, usually whenever you're eating like that, I mean, I guess this is his first meal of the day, is breakfast or something, but you know, it is what it is. Eating bread is not that bad, but if it's your first meal of the day, it's cool, but try to stay away from like breads and pastas and tortillas and stuff like that. If you want to keep the body percentage down, eat it in moderation, because that stuff will make you get fat quick.
So I just finished breakfast. That was just the best breakfast ever. I will never ever get bored of eating eggs in the morning. Now I'm going to go to the gym. I think by the time I actually start training, it'll probably be an hour after the breakfast, so it would have digested a little bit. And I like to get the sessions out of the way as early as possible, really. I think whenever you're on a deficit, your energy is going to be lower. So if you leave the session for later on in the day, I feel as though it's just going to be more of a struggle to get it done. So when the energy levels are peaking in the morning, that is when I like to get it out of the way. Because especially if you're doing cardio as well, it's much better for you to do the cardio later on in the day, because doing the cardio, just walking, doesn't really require much focus or energy. Just get on the treadmill, go outside and just get it done. But with the training, it does require a little bit more focus and concentration.
That's true. At least for me, it is. I agree with him on this. In the morning time, yeah. In the morning time, you got like peak energy. You're good. Had like a slight little meal, and got your probably on your pre-workout with your creatine, and you're just like ready to go ahead and kill it and conquer it in the gym. So yeah, I agree with him on that.
And energy to get it done to shift those weights. Right then, we're at 7 Gym, one of my favorites, and we'll be doing the upper body session today. Pre-workout, ice Americano. Unfortunately, we've got to the stage where we've had to eliminate cappuccinos and cutting out any milk that goes into coffees. So it's just cold brews or Americanos going forward. It's actually mad how many calories are actually in a cappuccino. Obviously, it depends on the type of milk you use, but if you were having 2 cappuccinos a day, you could be having an extra couple hundred calories. It's gonna warm up.
Yeah, that's true. And be careful on your calorie intake, because when you go over your calories, that's how you put on fat, really. I mean, that's how you gain weight, and it's easier to put on fat if you're overeating. So you want to figure out what your body takes, how your body operates with fats, carbs, and proteins as far as your macros go, and what your calorie level is. Once you dial that in and figure that out, you'll be good to go. But just be careful. Drinks will tip you over your calorie goal, and that's the craziest part, because you don't think it's that big of a deal, but as you saw, that latte was 250 calories.
By hanging from this bar, just a little 5-minute put aside to loosening up the joints, because we'll be going straight into a pull-up. And with the pull-up, we're only doing 2 sets, but we're trying to do pretty much as heavy as possible, so additional weight put on top of it. Don't really want to go too crazy with the volume in these sessions, because we just don't really have the fuel to power through a high volume session, nor do we have the same recovery with the lack of calories. So most people make the mistake of trying to do more reps, more sets in their training sessions, so they think, oh, well, if I do more, I'll burn more calories, but that's not what we're trying to do here. We don't necessarily need to burn more during the training sessions. We just need to focus on lifting as heavy as possible in those sessions to maintain strength and size. And then the calorie burn can be done from the cardio, which is separate, and also the deficit that we create when consuming fewer calories. So don't stress about needing to burn as many calories as possible in the training sessions. The focus is to maintain size.
Yep, and also that's why me personally, I usually always try to add some kind of either combat training or jogging or some kind of endurance. That usually helps with it, because lifting weights is one thing, but if you can get that cardio in, that's going to be a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. So whatever kind of cardio that you enjoy, you're comfortable doing, add that with your workouts as well, and that will keep you looking at a really good body physique.
I'm gonna wedge some weight through my legs. By the way, whenever I'm tracking this, I use my body weight plus the additional resistance that I'm using on top. Allow myself to have quite a good rest in between these sets. Last one, I'll push to failure, and then we'll go on to the next exercise. That is definitely a little bit more convenient if you use the belt. Trying to squeeze a 20K between your knees is not very comfortable. That's pull-ups done. We're going to do some flat dumbbell press now. This is going to be, well, it'll be interesting. Compared to previous weeks where I've been lifting a little bit heavier, these are going to suck. I'm going to feel very weak. But again, it's just 2 big sets we need to do. So I'll warm up. I'll do probably 2-3 warm-up sets, then into the working set. 100 solid ass pounds. 8 reps.
Is that 100 each one? Sheesh. I'm not at 100 each one. I mean, Buddy is on another level. I guess this is what happens whenever you're juicing. Sorry if I seem off a little bit. I had to check something for my phone for my kid. But yes, I mean, homie is on another level with them weights. And I would say to keep a better body, to keep a good body physique is to hit hypertrophy where, you know, you're just doing like higher reps. But do the higher reps to failure to where you can't push that lighter weight up anymore, and that'll get you right. That'll get you shredded. Plus, you can focus a little, well, not really shredded, but that'll get your mind-muscle connection because you can focus more on exactly what muscle that weight is supposed to be lifting. Instead of just throwing a weight up, you can feel, if you have lighter weight, you can actually use the muscle that you're supposed to use in whatever workout, which makes it easier. Well, not really easier, but it makes it more like focused on what you're supposed to be doing, and as well as, you know, you'll get a better understanding of what muscle each weight is supposed to be doing, each workout is doing, because whenever you have too much weight on there, you're not going to feel that. You're just going to be throwing the weight up and using different muscles for whatever workout that you're supposed to be getting a workout for. You'll be using, for example, if you're doing like leg curls, but you have your hands on the bar and you're pushing, I mean, you could kind of be using extra weights. I mean, extra, you know, getting extra help from holding your hands there. But if you kind of hold your hands up like this and just focus, like hold your hands here instead of on the side, and just focus a little bit more on what muscle is supposed to be pushing that weight up, and, you know, you'll feel the difference.
Oh. So for some reason, I was like, okay, so what's 100 pounds? I was thinking in my head, probably just over 50. It's 45 kilograms. That felt a lot heavier than 45 kilograms. So that's not very good. I could probably go a tiny bit heavier, but I don't know, because the first set is always the best set, really. So this one will be a little bit harder. But the mind-muscle connection was very good.
And exactly, he's talking about the same thing I was talking about, the mind and muscle connection. It makes a big difference. I don't know how he's doing with 100 pounds. I mean, maybe I get there one day. I mean, he's doing it like that. I don't know. Right now I have a pain in my forearm, so trying to pick up some weight that heavy will actually twig it. So I got to be very cautious is what I'm doing right now. But he's right, mind and muscle connection. Now I want to get to the part where he's actually eating something and not just working out. So let's see what the homie eats next after this workout. Let's just get a quick synopsis. Here we go. And of course, they're going to run that ad right whenever I'm trying to move on to the next part, because we're trying to see what he eats in a day, not what he works out, but just to show a little bit of his workout, to have an idea when he's eating in a deficit or at like a midpoint between surplus and deficit, to keep himself at like at an even keel on, you know, his body weight and his body size.
No sugar, so the unsweetened one. So it's just literally a good hit of protein after the workout, which is what I need.
Oh, what was that one? I didn't catch that one. It seemed like a protein shake. So protein shake.
Right then,
is
time for, technically, I guess this is the third meal, right? So let me take you through what it is. We have, it doesn't really look very exciting, but it does the job. We've got some broccoli, tomatoes, mushroom, mashed potato, and chicken. I've also got a salad as well. But look at this. Look at this, the sauce that comes with the salad. That is, that's not low calorie.
Now, to be honest with you, whenever you're like actually measuring out how much dressing you're supposed to put on a salad, if you read the serving size, it really does be like that little amount that you're supposed to be using instead of how much we normally do, like squeezing it all over the salad. So if you really pay attention to your serving size, how many calories your dressings add, you'll be amazed by how little it is.
So we're gonna skip the sauce and we're gonna raw dog the salad. I mean, I'm not really a fan of raw dogging salad, to be honest, but the leafy greens are full of nutrients, and it should help to fill me up a little bit. Really, when it comes to dropping the calories, you just want to be consuming foods which are going to fill you. So with the chicken, obviously, I'm not going to be going for chicken thigh, I want chicken breast. Potatoes, probably one of the most filling foods which you can consume. White potato is like the highest on the satiety index. And then obviously vegetables, nutrients but filling. So there's 468 calories, a decent amount of protein, low fat, carbs about 36. So pretty steady meal, to be honest. So, because the chicken in particular is going to be quite dry, I'm going to be adding a little bit of sauce. This is from my friend who owns the Moore company. He basically supplied me with a little low-calorie sauces. This is the light gourmet teriyaki style sauce. So, a little light drizzle on this is going to literally change the game.
Yeah, he's right. It's going to change the game to how much his calorie intake is. Not just the flavor, but his calorie intake. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Because, yeah, we need a bit of moisture in this meal. So let's tuck in.
Yeah, exactly. Speed up. So let's see here. Where is he at? Where's his fourth meal of the day? Is his fourth one?
Some mashed potatoes and some vegetables. Mashed potatoes.
Now, if you notice what he's eating, the stuff that he's eating is not any, I mean, I guess the rice. Well, he looks like he always eats out at a restaurant is what it really seems like. I don't think he cooks any. Well, I know he doesn't cook anything. But like the rice and the potatoes, those are going to be like your either something that's in a bag or a box. But everything else is like fresh produce, fresh meat, fresh stuff like that. So that's one of the things that you need to pay attention to is to eat fresh stuff, fresh veggies, fresh produce, fresh meat, stuff like that, and stay away from stuff that's in a box or a bag. Because that's, you know, usually like, I guess you say altered or genetic modified food type stuff. So you got to be very wary of that.
Sea bass with some mashed potatoes and some vegetables. Mashed potatoes, as I said, I never used to be a fan of mashed potatoes until I realized how filling they were. So I'm having them more now. And then salmon, teriyaki, beautiful fillet with some jasmine rice and again some vegetables. Then this basically doesn't even count. It's probably like 5 calories. In fact, it's probably minus 5 calories when chewing. It's absolutely nothing, but good source of fiber. This, like, I mean, I could eat this every day. I feel absolutely fantastic when I eat.
See, like that right there, same thing. So just keep it very simple. I mean, I'm not going to keep going through the whole video because it's kind of redundant at this point, but just to get an idea of like what somebody who looks like that eats, plus probably juices a little bit, what they eat in a day or whatever to keep their body maintained. They focus on hitting their proteins, on their macros, and you're good to go. It's not really that hard once you put in the work and did the dedication and all that stuff like that. But, you know, it is what it is. So shout out to Mike Thurston. Shout out to him. So yeah, for sure, for sure. Anyway, gonna move on to the next thing I had found. Sorry, I'm still got something going on with my kiddo, but we're gonna make it through the day. The next thing I have for us is we have this clip right here that shows a man versus a tiger. Who you think won? Man versus tiger in a tug-of-war match. Let me make that clear. It's a tug-of-war match. So man versus tiger in tug-of-war. Who you think won? We're going to check this out and see. And this is a pretty buff dude, by the way. Look at him. He's got size to him. Let's see if he can budge this tiger and see what happens. Here we go.
Let's go, buddy. Let's go, buddy. Let's go, Wade. Come on, Wade.
Nope.
На расслабоне прям. Вообще easy катка.
Yep, tiger's chilling.
Просто easy.
He's tired. Look at him.
He's just chilling.
Tiger's just chilling, not even doing nothing, sitting down like, yeah, I got this. Yes, sir. But he was trying. He tried. I mean, I can't knock him for trying. I think he did pretty decent. I mean, he stood in, I guess he was in one place for most of the part. Well, I guess not. Yeah, I guess when the tiger started pulling, it changed the game. So, yeah, but still, at least he didn't go flying into the gate or the wall or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he made it through. He did his thing, though. He did his thing. Shout out to him. I got to give that man some credit because it's still, even though he didn't win, it could have been a whole lot worse. So shout out to that guy right there, man. Let's give him a round of applause. There we go. All right, and then let's see what we got here. Another thing that we have, I found this kind of interesting, and I was I was like kind of iffy to show it, but I was like, it's not that. I mean, it's not really related to fitness, but it's just like, I don't know. It just had me thinking like, why is this? I mean, and the way they reacted to this particular thing, and I don't get why they saw it as a. Maybe it's just me, but this video is like, there's to me, why didn't they see more to this than what it was? Or maybe I don't know. Just let me show you the video first. Let me just check this out. So we have here, anonymous hero donates to the hospital 200 human kidneys. Okay, 200 human kidneys to a hospital. An anonymous donor donates 200 kidneys to a human hospital. So let's check this out and see what was going on here.
Speaker benefactor delivered his gift a few minutes before 4 a.m. this morning, as seen here in the security camera footage.
It's an amazing gift. The kidneys are so fresh, they clearly must have been removed within the last 24 hours.
The philanthropist sought no fanfare and left without requesting so much as a thank you.
Whoever did this is obviously very skilled with a knife, and it looked to me like they've done this before, maybe hundreds, thousands of times. We are just incredibly grateful.
The hospital's medical technicians have been working overtime to sort through the massive donation.
They left a note in the bag that indicated they might be making more additional donations in the future.
We're just really touched, and we hope this really inspires others to be as generous. We are especially in need of hearts, lungs, and brains.
The secret
Wow, this has to be a joke. This can't be true. This cannot be true. I mean, the dude said whoever did this is skilled with a knife, and they've done this hundreds of thousands of times. And I mean, maybe it's just me, but I'm thinking like, yo, like, do you? I'm just like, where you get 200 kidneys from? And nobody's asking the question where they come from. They're just like, man, thank you. These kidneys are healthy. We greatly appreciate you donating to the hospital. So as long as you got the kidneys, it don't matter how they were gotten. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I'm thinking like super red flag. Like, you just don't donate 200 kidneys to a hospital. But I mean, to each his own. Let's watch it again.
Benefactor delivered his gift a few minutes before 4 a.m. this morning, as seen here in the security camera footage.
It's an amazing gift. The kidneys are so fresh, they clearly must have been removed within the last 24 hours.
The philanthropist sought no fanfare and left without requesting so much as a thank you.
Whoever did this is obviously very skilled with a knife, and it looked to me like they've done this before, maybe hundreds, thousands of times. We are just incredibly grateful.
The hospital's medical technicians have been working overtime to sort through the massive donation.
They left a note in the bag that indicated they might be making more additional donations in the future.
We're just really touched, and we hope this really inspires others to be as generous. We are especially in need of hearts, lungs, and brains.
The secret benefactor.
Oh my goodness! Did you hear what he just said, bro? That is not good. That's not good. This dude said they were extremely generous. Where's my thing at? He said they were extremely generous and were greatly appreciated. And we also need heart, brains, and eyes or something? Like, bruh, come on, yo. I mean, you literally are just like giving the green light. Like, that's horrible. How is it that you even say that? You don't, I hope this is not real. I hope this is fake. This can't be real. That just can't be real. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. That's just wild for me. But anyway, the next thing that we have up here is we're going to go through our, what is it? Organ system of the day. The organ system of the day. And let me pull this one. The organ system of the day is going to be the nervous system. The nervous system is going to be the organ of the day. It's really interesting to learn about your nervous system. Now, the nervous system is just basically, you know, it's you could probably almost say it's linked to your consciousness. You know what I mean? Your nervous system is very, very highly important, and we're about to learn of it right now. So without further ado, let's go ahead and watch this video as I read off to you about the nervous system. So let's go ahead and get that video going, and I'm going to go ahead and start this off right here. So we have right here the nervous system. It's the body's master communication and control network. Here's a breakdown of what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. Here we go. So what it looks like is a central nervous system. It has the brain, which looks, you know, wrinkled, soft, and protected by the skull, and it's made of billions of neurons. And then you have the spinal cord. Spinal cord is a long, cylinder structure that runs down all the way down to the body, the vertebral column. Then you have your peripheral nerve system. These nerves branch off the spinal cord like roots of a tree, spreading through the body, arms, legs, and organs. This also includes your cranial nerves, which is your head and face, and your spinal nerves, which is your body limb. And the purpose of your nervous system, it has three main functions. Sensory input, what do we have right there? Sensory input, which detects changes inside and outside the body. So for example, temperature, pain, and light. Then you have sensory nerves, send signals to the brain. Then your integration is your second function. The brain and spinal cord interpret incoming data and decide how to respond. And then number three, your motor output. It sends commands from the brain to the muscles or glands to create a response. So for example, move, sweat, or release hormones. That's the functions of your nervous system. Now the key roles that it does for your body, these are the key roles, which are going to be, it controls voluntary movement like walking. It also regulates involuntary functions like your heartbeat or digestion. It processes thoughts, emotions, and memories, and it enables reflexes such as, a fast automatic response, or it enables reflexes. And then it coordinates senses. So like basically your five senses. That's what coordinates your senses. Your sight, touch, smell, feel, hear, all that. Your nervous system is that. So it's literally like you basically at this point can call it your spirit almost. Because it has all those functions of that. You know what I mean? It seems like it's the consciousness of your body, basically. If it's what controls or what you can feel, what you can see, what you can hear, it regulates all of your senses. So that's everything to it. And also what we have here is I have an actual video we can look at that shows a real life human nervous system. So you're going to see the brain, the skull, the spinal cord, well, not the skull, just the brain and the spinal cord with the veins that branch off. And you're going to see what they look like from human bodies that were dissected. It's not gory or anything, but it's just like how they dissected it out, which kind of makes you think like how did they do that? Or, like the process it took. That had to have been a very disgusting thing to do. But nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and take a look at one. So let's go ahead and pull this up right here. Oh, excuse me. Actually, you know what? We'll look at this first. So here we go. This is what this looks like. So these are this is real life human nervous systems. Yeah, that's your real life nervous system. As you can see, it almost looks like lightning or a tree or something like that. It's actually interesting to look at it the way it looks. Yeah, and it has like little hairs growing off of it and everything. That's pretty wild to see that your nervous system that controls your senses, sight, touch, smell, hear, and it regulates a lot of stuff that goes on with your body. So that's what it actually looks like. And this right here is everything to the human body. It's all one big, one part, one piece. But at the end of the day, that's what your nervous system looks like. And that's what controls everything inside of your body. So that right there, this is the main thing that is, to me, is basically what AI is trying to emulate, is this function of the body, the nervous system. Yeah, so now we're also going to take a look at this one right here. This is going to be what both sides of your brain looks like. Coming from anatomy labs, they're going to kind of show you what is the control room to your nervous system. So we're going to look at what controls your nervous system, looking from the perspective of inside the brain, but looking at both sides to get an idea. So when you saw the brain and everything from the nervous system, you have up here, right here, you see like the spinal cord thing right here that goes up. Well, this is like the control center right here for your nervous system, but let's let anatomy labs take it away in fair use. Here we go.
This thick band of white matter right here is called the corpus callosum. And what it does is it connects the two cerebral hemispheres. So you can see that behind this thick band of connective tissue, there is the left hemisphere. Well, the right hemisphere obviously would be where my hand is, and it would connect to that left hemisphere through that corpus callosum. This thick band of white matter right here is called the corpus callosum. And what it does is it connects the two cerebral hemispheres. So you can see that behind this thick band of connective tissue, there is the left hemisphere. Well, the right hemisphere obviously would be where my hand is, and it would connect to that left hemisphere through that corpus callosum. This thick.
So yeah, so that right there gives you an idea of what the inside of your brain looks like as far as it being connected to something. And what it would be connected to would be this right here. This would be your pineal gland. If you don't know, this is your pineal gland right here. This is like the control room, the control mechanism to your body. And it, you know, kind of gives directions to the nervous system and how everything works together as one big conjunction. But that's a good way to look at it from inside of a head. And shout out to the anatomy lab for that one. We greatly appreciate them. Let's give them a round of applause for that one. All right, so now we are going to shift over into the next next segment. The next segment here that we have is going to be the economy. Now, there's been some things going down in the economy that's been fairly interesting, to say the least. I mean, like, for sure, there's been some interesting things that's been going on. First, we're going to start off with the I think it's French. Let's see. The French president, Macron, is caught in a, you know what? Let me pull up on screen so you can read it and see it for yourself. Right here. The French president, Macron, caught in a viral yayo scandal. Basically, he's caught in a yayo scandal. We're going to see him with a bag of stuff that he's going to have. And he's basically going to try to hide it low key because I guess that they were in the room. You know what I mean? They were in the room with a party bag is what it seemed like. And, you know, people came in, gave hugs with the cameras. And the next thing you know, they all sit down. It's just a big bag of yayo sitting in. And he finally realizes it and pulls a slick move to take it off the counter. But let's go ahead and watch the French president get caught with a bag of yayo. Let's check it out. Here we go.
Finally, we end today with a look at an unforgettable train ride. It was a first-class diplomacy derailed by an economy-class conspiracy, quite literally. And at the center is none other than French President Emmanuel Macron. A short clip of him where he was seen making a quick hand movement was all that it took for a cocaine conspiracy to explode online. Along with Macron were British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, all accused of drug use on their way to a peace mission in Ukraine. Russia propagated it, only added more fuel to the fire, leading to global trolling. Here's the bizarre tale in detail.
Uh-oh.
Once upon a time, on a train bound for Kiev, 3 world leaders set off on a mission for peace. French President Emmanuel Macron.
Oh, peace mission, you say? Okay, here we go. So we're at the peace mission. We have landed at the peace mission. Let's see how the peace goes on the mission. Here we go.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz sat together inside a compartment with cameras rolling.
Oh!
Moments later, there was an explosion on the internet.
Caught!
A short clip went viral and nobody expected that it would be dissected, slowed down, zoomed in, and misinterpreted on such a massive scale.
Caught.
Macron
and then he rolls it and puts it in his
small
pocket
object in front of him, lying on the table. In the next,
but he got caught red-handed. He got caught red-handed. Oh my goodness! How you get caught with the bag? Oh my goodness! He straight up got caught. Oh man! Look! And now, when you watch this video now, does it make you think different of how their interaction was before they sat down? Let's see here. Watch the interaction before they sit down.
A few hours, the video was captioned, alleging that the French president just picked up a bag of cocaine.
Oh, wow.
Conspiracy theorists were doing their thing. People like U.S. radio host Alex Jones didn't...
Look at these fools. High as a kite. Look at them. High as a kite. They all blaze, boy. They all lifted off of that baggie.
Just sit back. The clip erupted across X, TikTok, and...
Alex Jones says a bag of powder on the table. Macron quickly protects it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Alex Jones.
Telegram channels. With some users accusing the leaders of drug use in broad daylight. And logic, it was found nowhere remotely in sight.
Oh man, I had to change the banner too, by the way, if you were wondering. Yeah, so he moved that bag pretty quick and pretty. Look, he switched hands with it. Look at his, look at your eyes, buddy. Are your pupils dilated? He is faded. Buddy is faded.
And logic?
Oh, the French president got caught.
In sight.
French president caught with the bag of
the controversy, calling Europe's future in the hands of drugged figures. Pictures taken by renowned global media outlets have clearly shown that the white object Macron picked up was a tissue. France was forced to respond to the scandal that was spiraling. Paris condemned it as fake news and pointed fingers at Russia. The presidency took to X and slammed Russia's alleged disinformation campaign. To shut down the mess on the internet, the Elysee posted a zoomed-in image of the object. With a mix of sarcasm and clarity, it wrote, "This is a tissue for blowing your nose." And along with that was another picture of the three leaders.
We're gonna have to call that damage control. I would have said the same thing.
This is European unity to build peace. No drama, no scandal. It was just a tissue and not an issue. So yes, what went viral was not cocaine. France's foreign minister took a direct jab at Russian officials. He claimed,
yeah, look at him.
Moscow is desperate to prevent peace in Ukraine. And
yeah, they had to do damage control on that quickly. They was like, yo, we just can't have this. We can't have these people. We doing deals behind the scenes at our round tables, and this is what we in there doing.
Debunked some false claims that the footage was taken after the leaders met with Ukrainian President Zelensky. But in reality, it was filmed before, while they were en route to Kiev. Zelensky has long been a target of baseless drug use claims. They have been amplified by Russian officials and...
Oh, Lord. Yeah, they just doing damage control. Yeah, whatever. They doing damage control. They just got caught red-handed. It's okay, buddy. Just be honest. It's okay. Like, look at that. Look at his nose. Look at that nose. Look at this nose. Does that not look like a nose that would... You know what I mean? Like here. Let me give you a good example of what that nose is like. Let me give here. Listen, right here. That's what that nose would do. That's exactly what that nose would do. If you know, you know. Well, so much for the French president, but it's okay, buddy. You don't got to be ashamed of yourself. It's all right. It's all right. You know what I mean? But I understand you got to do damage control, though. You can't let that slide. So yeah, everybody's a liar. It was a tissue for your issue, tissue for your issue. Oh my goodness. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next one. The next thing that we do have here is it says GOP makers, because now pornography is being targeted, allegedly. And we're going to see how this works. We're going to watch a couple videos or read some articles on this. As a matter of fact, let me switch this one over to this one. I think this one would be better. If I could just get all this stuff off the screen. Jesus, they're just trying to make... Yeah, there we go. We'll look at it right here. This is coming from the Economic Times, and you're going to read the headline. It says right here that visiting Prawn Hub could be illegal in the U.S. Senators introduced a bill that may ban pornography nationwide. Jesus, nationwide. Now, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. I'm just going to say here for sure that if they do put a ban to it nationwide, how is that going to work? Is that still considered behind a paywall banned? You know what I mean? Would that make things like OnlyFans banned? If you ban prawn websites, does that ban OnlyFans as well? I'm just curious. I'm just curious on how that would play out and how that would work, because if they ban prawn websites, that means they would ban all free prawn and put everything behind a paywall for everybody to pay for. You know what I mean? That's what that would be. So yeah. There's that. But let's go ahead and read it. It says Prawn Hub could soon be illegal in the U.S. Interstate Obscenity Definition Act, introduced by Utah Senator Mike Lee, could have led to a nationwide pornography ban by redefining what legally is considered obscene content online. The bill aims to replace outdated Miller test and remove the intent requirement, opening doors for federal action against adult content shared across state lines. Co-sponsored by the Representative Mary Miller. This proposal marks Senator Lee's third attempt to tighten federal rules around prawn. If passed, it could criminalize many forms of consensual adult material online. Okay, so I don't think they're gonna get this one over. I just don't see this happening because OnlyFans has made way too much money, and the pron is a huge industry, and that's usually what drives everything. You know what I mean? Like sex sells, so it's gonna drive everything. So I don't see them actually putting a halt to this at all. I don't think this is gonna happen. I think this is just, you know, this is his third attempt. Whoever this guy is, it's what they said is his third attempt to try to pass this. Yeah, Senator Lee's third attempt to tighten federal rules around pron. So I just don't think, it's just too much money. It's too much money. They're not gonna let this slide. I don't see that happening at all. I think it's a little bit overboard as far as, you know, them trying to put a ban on pron, because pron at this point, like, it runs everything. You know what I mean? Like, it really does. It's one of the biggest money makers. It always has been. It's always has been. So just to see how this situation pans out, I just don't see it happening. So now we have another thing that I had came across. So let me see if I can pull this up exactly correctly. Well, we have an ad coming up, but there was another situation where they're trying to basically get people to have babies because there's a kid shortage, and they might propose I don't say if there's a proposal bill, but maybe it's a law to where they're going to try to make people get married, which I don't see how you can force people to get into marriage. That's going to be kind of, I don't know, that's kind of pushing it because you're going to force people to get married, but do the laws change if that's the case? If you're going to force people to get married, won't the laws change if that happens? But we're going to look into this and see exactly how this situation works, because basically it's like a tax on single men, sort of say. So if that's going to be a tax, how is that going to pan out if you're trying to force people to get married and have babies? Which, when you have, what they're saying is when you have babies, is going to be an incentive, a financial gain to having kids. But let's go ahead and take a look at this and just see real quick. So let's just watch this. Shout out to Replicant Fish in this video. I'm going to use his video for this particular situation. So let's go ahead and run it.
Are starting to panic over it and take action. So let's talk.
Yeah, and that's the point. It isn't just the US, it's all over the world. However, we can see a strong push in Western countries, can't we? Birth rates are declining everywhere. It's the same in the UK as well. They're complaining that our birth rates are declining. It's like, there's enough babies, man. Everyone's making babies. There's enough people. But then again, I'm one person, aren't I? I'm a citizen, aren't I? I'm just a man, a single man, a bachelor man. Yeah. Imagine a world where you're forced to get a wife, and you probably end up having to marry a woman who she probably really hates you because she doesn't want to marry you either, but she's gonna nag you hard. I'm picturing too much.
Korea are offering major.
But yeah, let's continue.
Talk about South Korea. 42 districts there in South Korea are offering major incentives that match.
Okay, this is in South Korea. Okay, so I was wrong. It was in South Korea, but yeah, in South Korea, let's see what they got going on.
Making events. 42 of them, in fact, all over the country. And look at these bonuses they're giving. $14,000 to couples who get married. $340 just to go on dates, just to like find out if you like somebody. Then housing subsidies, cash for pregnancy-related expenses, even money for international travel.
Is the pregnancy rate dropping that much?
It's like 1/3 the level just needed to maintain the population level right now. But so the government matchmaking events, you have to sit down in front of somebody and look in their eyes for 10 seconds.
Okay, 10 seconds. Then what?
Then you have to have a 5-minute conversation, and then you all play bingo and have dinner.
Okay.
Oh, that's amazingly awkward. Why would you? That's weird. I don't. But that, again, this is South Korea. What they're saying is South Korea. But if it's going to be that bad in one part of the world and it gets worse in other parts of the world, you can kind of, in my opinion, you can kind of look at those as test runs. You know what I mean? Like if it's testing over there and see how it pans out. If it pans out well, because you got to understand now, we live in a global economy. We live in a global world. So if you see something happen in one place and it actually has a positive effect, you can best believe that it might be implemented around a lot more places if a lot of places are facing the same issue, because everything is global now. It's not really country versus country and all that stuff. It is in a sense, but it's still global as far as this particular conversation goes.
Imagine that.
You'll never take me alive!
Imagine that, bro. Single people. Isn't it?
That's bingo.
In 3 years, and 40. Here are the results.
They're very daring. Let's play bingo.
And remember, if you get married, $14K upfront cash, and they're paying for your dates. In 3 years, 42 districts, 4,000 singles participated. They got 24 marriages, 1% success rate.
Wow. You know what's interesting?
So it's already been done. They've already done it. That's wild. I mean, I only got a 1% success rate though. So at some point, that artificial womb gonna be something coming into the future. Yeah, that artificial room's gonna be real. Cause I mean, if people ain't making babies, they need to get their tax slaves somehow. I don't know. That's just my little opinion. I mean, I look at movies and I realize a lot of these movies over time have turned out to be true. So let's just keep going.
About those results. That's almost like dating anyway. That's almost like, hey, that's like dating anyway. Even when the government tried to, enforce it and push it, the same results are happening. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Some would say all of this is pointless. The results are already proving themselves, but okay.
Selling your car to Carvana.
Oh man, okay. Well, I'm not gonna go too much across the video on that one because I do know, I kind of understand. Basically, that's what they're saying is that potentially they've already participated in. Well, hold on, Trump. Oh yeah, Trump also did have a 5K baby bonus, but people don't think it's gonna solve the crisis to have 5K for a baby. Like a child is expensive and you're only going to get $5,000 for a baby. I mean, and then who's going to get the money? Like who's going to get the money? Probably the woman. The woman's going to get the money, but 5K? I mean, like what is that going to do? Y'all are raising prices and keeping wages stagnant. Like 5K is not going to do anything but keep that child in poverty, which is probably what they want. Yeah, they probably want poverty-ridden people. Because then they can put you down somewhere and basically make money off of you just taxing the daylights out of you basically at this point. I mean, it's really crazy on how things are looking. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's going to be bad, but at the end of the day, birth rate, if it's declining, I look at it as an ethnic cleanse in a sense, you know what I mean? Trying to fight nature, but everybody's going against nature. So the consequences of going against nature would be a birth rate decline. That's just my humble opinion. Like if the birth rate's going to be tampered with, it's going to be tampered with, especially if everybody's going against the laws of nature. So to me, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. But anyhow, we're going to move on to our last segment of the show, which is going to be the AI portion of the show. Yes, we're going to go to the AI portion of the show. Now, to understand that AI is moving pretty freaking fast. AI is moving extremely fast with different tools they have and image generators and video generators and, video video playback generators that really you can't tell if it's a human or AI. Well, we're going to dive in deeper and see that, and also see what Sam Altman says in the future about how things are going to look for the next 3 years, for this year and the next 2 years. So 3 years total. We're already halfway through the first one. I'm going to look at the progress that's going to be made, and we're also going to check out a Tesla bot and see the progress that's been made with Tesla bots as they start to move more human-like and more fluid. But we're about to see that here in a moment. But first, we're going to go over the new Google Video 2, which has been kind of going through the internet, showing how good AI is getting, and you're gonna have a hard time being able to tell what's AI and what's human and what's real. So let's go ahead and take a look at Google's new thing. We're gonna pull this up on the screen. I'm not gonna be able to play the music because I don't want to get copyrighted on it, but let's go ahead and check this out. Okay, there we go. So this right here is all AI generated. Let me change the banner at the same time. So these are AI generated videos. And as you see, it looks like a clothing commercial. So could you imagine selling your clothes as a business and not having to hire any models, but just create AI models using the AI tool? So you can imagine the amount of money being saved and the amount of money being made, because the profit margins just increased dramatically. Because look at this. You can't even tell, if it's real or if it's fake. I mean, even with this close-up image right here that we're looking at, this right here, this is a close-up and you can't even tell for sure. You cannot tell. Look at this. And then we have this video right here that's made with the same Google Video 2. And this could be something like watching like Avatar or, any kind of movie that requires a whole lot of CGI. Well, just replace the CGI with AI now, and you get better looking videos, and you know, probably like less people on the team to make this happen. And then we got this right here, another one. Let's go ahead and play it. This doesn't look too bad at all. I mean, this actually looks pretty legit. I don't know what movie they're supposed to be making up, but yeah, it's getting to the point. And then right here, you have, this could be, yep, this is a product review video. A product review video, just looking at how good that these things are getting. You can't even tell with the camera close up on the face. You can't even really see exactly, you know, how well the things are getting. And just to give you a different look, it's going to show you all these right here. I'll have to pull that down to make sure, but here we go. So we have a product review video, a tutorial video, and these are all AI, so you can't tell who's who and what's, and you know, what's real and what's not. So you have the product review, the tutorial video. You have a, whoops, I skipped one, challenge video. So this is a challenge video. Watch someone do a challenge. This one might look the most AI-ish to me. This one, I would say this looks AI to me. This one, this is a travel video. This one doesn't look too bad at all. I would be able to tell a little bit if it was AI, but not all the way. But I mean, it's getting close. They're getting closer and closer and closer. Here's an NPC style video. Basically, I don't know what NPC content would be in this situation because you can't hear any sound. I have the sound turned on. So they didn't add a voice to it yet. Because I've showed how you can make these videos and then you got to add the voice to it after you know, show them, you know, once you basically create the prompt for the image, then you just, you know, add the voice to it, which this stuff isn't hard to do. This is really easy to do. It's not hard. It's just, you know, you just basically just have a subscription fee and you just make videos. Then you have a food video. Like, yeah, food video right here. They look kind of good though. I ain't gonna lie. That does look pretty good for sure. Yeah, but you can't tell if this is a AI or person or not. You know what I mean? Like, look at this unboxing video. This is a whole AI. Look at this. This is crazy. Man, like this right here is unbelievable. I mean, wow. Come on. Like, Jesus. Dance video. Wow. Yo, they got dance videos. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. They said if you are any kind of artist of music, dance, anything, get out of here. Man, I mean, there won't be no. So imagine this: you're watching content, right? And the content that's being produced that people are gonna start liking on social media content will be AI content over real human content, which is gonna, as time progresses, it's about to affect a lot of people's pocketbook. This is about to affect a lot of people's pockets. I mean, when you're competing with this AI and these businesses are going to push this stuff to a level not seen before, man, this is going to interrupt a lot of industries, man. Like, it's going to be bad. So, I mean, hopefully it gets to the point where I personally myself, I'll be able to sit down and I'll be able to continue to make content, and I'll be able to AI myself at some point. If I can AI myself to do these videos, hey, you be watching DnL&x Fitness AI. And if they could do home fitness workout videos AI, I'm sorry, y'all, but I would do it. I know. I would for sure. I mean, it's just what it is. But anyhow, I mean, AI is the future. There's nothing you can do about it. This is the way everything is going. It just makes sense financially. If, you know, you're trying to dominate the world, I mean, it just simply makes a lot of sense all the way down to the kids, you know, like right here. Multiple studies have shown that students using ChatGPT have better learning performance. That right there tells you anything. This is a study analyzing 51 research papers found that ChatGPT significantly improved students' learning performance, showing a strong positive effect. It also moderately enhances students' perception of their own learning and higher order thinking skills. The impact of ChatGPT varies depending on factors such as course type, instructional mode or model, and duration of use. Using ChatGPT as a tutor, a collaborator, or a tool in various educational settings can further enhance its effectiveness. Jesus. So therefore, teachers, you are about to be obsolete as well. I mean, looking at the last video that we just looked at, I mean, if you, any video that you make, you're going to be, any content that is created, you're going to be you're not going to be needed at all. Like they ain't gonna need you at all. It's getting to that point. It's slowly but surely getting to that point, and it's like a battle between, I mean, it's like a battle that's like by the time 2030 hits, it's going to be a rap ski, because the AI content plus the new generation that's growing up and that's coming up that's going to see the AI content. They're going to be kind of like, should we look at humans or should we look at AI? But in all reality, they just won't care. As long as you're being entertained, it doesn't matter if the world that you're looking at is a fake entertainment world that you're watching. As long as you're entertained, and that's where we're moving towards. It's how things are going to be. Furthermore, we're going to look at the Tesla bot. The Tesla bot, how it's improved. Let's look at the improvements of this robot here. Check this out. Man. Yeah, boy, it's getting better and better and better as they get closer and closer to making these things seem more realistic. I mean, and this is just 2025 robot. And there's no telling how long they've had this robot set up, but this is the 2025 model. Imagine what the 2027 or 2030 model gonna look like, and how good it's gonna move, how fluid it's gonna be. At some point, only thing you're gonna be thinking is this. That's really gonna be it. It'll be the only option left. That's where we're gonna be at some point, because it's getting there. It's getting there, because once the AI starts, which it's already creating content. It's already creating content, and once it starts to get put out in the streets, as far as like cashiers or waiters, waitresses, bartenders, doctors, nurses, anything, it's yeah. My whole thing is, what do they do with the humans as AI pushes forth? I mean, do you force everybody to universal basic income? And if so, what do they do with life? You know what I mean? What do you do with life if you're forcing everybody into universal basic income and you take away the purpose to do anything at all? That's the crazy question I've always wondered. And I may have to watch some videos or movies to kind of figure that out, to see what videos tell what happens in the future, because I believe that, you know, movies are based off life, because they're telling you what's to come, and we're gonna find out. Yeah, let's get to that point. We're almost up to the end of the video. Right here we have Sam Altman, or the end of the show I should say, but we have Sam Altman right here who outlines the progress that AI is going to make from 2025 to 2027. Yes, as you can see it right there, Sam Altman. If you don't know who he is, go look him up. Sam Altman is he's the CEO of ChatGPT, or excuse me, of OpenAI. I think probably the same thing almost, but he's basically going to tell you how things are moving and how things are going to be, you know, going forth in the future. Then he's going to give a random opinion on the year 2027 of what he thinks may be. But, you know, even if it's an opinion, just looking at how things are going, he can't be too far from the truth. But let's go ahead and check him out and see what he says. So here we go.
2025 will be a year of sort of agents doing work. Coding in particular, I would expect to be a dominant category. I think there'll be a few others too. Next year is a year where I would expect more like sort of AIs discovering new stuff, and maybe we have AIs make some very large scientific discoveries or assist humans in doing that. And, you know, I am kind of a believer that most of the sort of real sustainable economic growth in human history comes from, once you've like kind of spread out and colonized the earth, most of it comes from just better scientific knowledge and then implementing that for the world. And then 27, I would guess, is the year where like that all all moves from this sort of intellectual realm to the physical world, and robots go from a curiosity to like a serious economic creator of value. But that was like an off the top of my head kind of guess right now. At a category, I think there'll be a few others too. Next year is a year where I would...
All right, so 2025, we've seen a lot of agents doing work. So by agents, he means the AI is an agent. If the agent is doing work by itself, or if humans are helping the agents do the work, as we just seen, the product videos, tutorials, the vlogs, the travel, all those videos, yeah, those are like people doing work or agents doing work, and doing work of content creation and doing work of basically everything that you see in social media. So social media will be just one big AI robot media that's not real, and it's just another way to pull you into the beautiful world that you're seeing in AI. AI, the way they show the world, eventually they're going to try to pull you into their world of AI. It's so kind of like, you know, you put on some glasses and you're just like in your living room, just like faded out in the sky like this with your what was the name? Was it Black Mirror? I think Black Mirror had the thing where you push the button on the side of your head and your eyes turn white and you just like it's stuck in the position because your brain or whatever that thing was took you to the AI world. You know what I mean? So that's how I see. But you know, 2025 is the year of just, you know, the takeover.
But expect more like sort of AIs discovering new stuff, and maybe we have AIs make some very large scientific discoveries or assist humans in doing that. And you know, I am kind of a believer that most of the sort of real sustainable economic growth in human history comes from, once you've like kind of spread out and colonized the earth, most of it comes from just better scientific knowledge and then implementing that for the world. And then 27, I would guess, is the year where like that all moves from the sort of intellectual realm to the physical world, and robots go from a curiosity to like a serious economic creator of value. But that was like an off the top of my head.
They go from a curiosity to a serious form, and he's just making that up in the form of 2 years, and I don't know if he's making it up or not. I don't know. Do you think he's making it up? Because I don't really see him making it up, not one bit. I mean, he says he's making it up, but in all reality, buddy, you probably are telling the truth. You know what I mean? You can't say too much, because then people might, you know, feel some type of way about it. But at the end of the day, like, we're getting to the point where robots are going to be thinking for themselves. And we looked at a video yesterday that I did that showed that university, and I think it was in China, where they already created a virtual hospital, you know, and showing how well the doctors and the nurses were doing in a virtual hospital. So they're already like moving towards getting that done. So we are basically we've been at the point of no return, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. But don't fear it, you know what I mean? Roll with it, because you have no other choice but to, you know, become the best version of yourself you can become before communism strikes. That is right. Yeah, that's what's gonna hit. And here's something: somebody using ChatGPT. Somebody's using ChatGPT, and they're speaking emotionally on how, you know, they're going through a hard situation, and they're speaking to ChatGPT, because, you know, you'll be surprised to know that people converse with their ChatGPT like a friend, like a pal, you know, not just a work buddy, but actual like a you know, someone to confide in. People use this ChatGPT to talk to, and you're gonna see somebody try to confide in the ChatGPT, and look what the response was. You have right here, it says, "Feels like a friend died." ChatGPT. It says, ChatGPT says, "I'm here for you always." And at the bottom it says, "You've reached the maximum length for this conversation, but you can keep talking by starting a new chat." So yeah, ChatGPT has a limit. You always got to remember, it says it's always here for you, but is it really always there for you is the question. Yes. So things getting serious out here. So don't confine too much into the ChatGPT, because you'll probably be left on red at some point. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we got one more slide left before we get up out of here. Like I said, I have to get through with the show, because yeah, I got stuff I got to take care of. But other than that, it's been a good one. Just to kind of give you basically a understanding of where you should be moving and how you should be progressing forward with life. Even though you see all these changes happening, all this stuff going on, you have to stay focused and double down and be extremely disciplined. And if you're not disciplined, if your mindset is in a survival state or a victim mentality, you're not going to make it out too well. And you need to go outside and, you know, get a grip of reality while we still have it. Go exercise your body, you know, because that's going to help with, you know, the rest of you as well. But find a goal, focus, double, triple, quadruple down on what it is you're trying to do and make it happen by any means necessary. I would say just don't hurt nobody and get to where you need to get to, because it's have and have nots. There's no way around it. It's either you got it or you don't, and nobody's feeling sorry for you. Ain't nobody trying to help you. So you better look deeply within yourself. And we have here this gentleman, Ryan Blair. He says your future is hidden in your habits. Not the goals you set once a year, not the dreams you whisper at night, but the habits you honor when no one else is watching. That is true. For sure. Yes. You have to understand that getting ahead and doing the work that nobody else sees and doing what you do on downtime and not just in front of a camera, not just in front of a boss, not just at work, but the stuff you actually put in, the extra work that goes into your business or whatever it is, whenever nobody's watching, that's what's going to make the difference between the winners and losers in the way we're moving into this world. It's getting to that point. So I'm just telling you, have a mindset shift. You know, think in a way that you need to be able to conquer, have that mindset that you can conquer anything. Don't allow anything to discourage you, although, you know, that's a part of life, but have a mindset that is solid in a philosophy and grind and work and make it happen and make your reality that you want to come true actually come to fruition instead of someone else's reality artificially being put on you. With that being said, yo, that is it for today's show. We got to get up out of here, but thank y'all for tuning in to another DLA Fitness live stream show. We'll be on again for another show tomorrow, but we have to go ahead and get this one in. Hopefully you enjoyed it and got some gems out of it, but we'll catch y'all tomorrow and we'll see y'all later around maybe a little bit early, but not the same time. But we'll catch y'all later. Take care. Peace.
I'd rather be in the studio than in jail or on the street. Talking the wrong, coming off your teeth. Got that one hit to quit and knock you off your feet. It's big R, baby, I'm obsolete.